Welcome to my journey. My name is Zala and I am an art restorer who loves baking. I challenged myself to bake 400 pastry recipes out of my 12th edition of Slovene Cookbook from 1954.
Hello everyone! Today I decided to make lemon narastok. This is a Slovenian term that best translates to soufflé. And I thought that today the recipe warrants some preparation, I guess, because Miss Felicita wrote a little intro of what are these narastki or soufflés supposed to be. So let's read that one first. It says, we bake soufflés in fire-resistant dishes or little porcelain cups, and while baking, we put them onto the baking tray, which is sprinkled with salt or ash. And I have no idea what she's on about here, but I will not recreate this step, I'm sorry to say. Then she says that the egg whites, beaten egg whites, should be very, very stiff, and that's why you should mix them up with a little bit of sugar to make them even firmer. It says that they should be served immediately after they are baked or taken out of the oven and in the same dish as they were baked in, and because they fall together really fast. So, okay, pretty straightforward. The only thing my mind is a little confused about is, like, she says that the egg whites should be beaten with a little bit of sugar, but does she mean that you should just take a pinch of the sugar not related to the recipe and add it, or should you take the sugar from the recipe and add a part of that sugar into the egg whites as you mix them? And I'm really curious about this salt and ash. Actually, wait a minute, let me check it out. Oh, okay. I just read that they put ashes or salt onto the baking tray on which they put the little ceramic cups in which they were making these soufflés, that it would act as kind of a heat isolator, because back in the days the ovens, or in this case like furnaces, I guess is the better term, were not as easy to regulate when it comes to the temperature. So they would put this little layer to isolate the cups so that they would not burn before they would be able to be baked. So that's very interesting, actually. I'm glad I checked it out. So now, without any further ado, let's check what this recipe is. Here you go. Lemon soufflé. And let's see what it says. Lemon soufflé. Okay, mix 5 egg yolks, 3 to 5 spoons of sugar, juice of 1 small or half a big lemon, and a little lemon zest. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, I guess. The only thing I'm not quite sure about is if I should just lump it all together and mix, or should I first mix egg yolks and sugar and then afterwards add the juice. I'll see, I guess, what I do. Okay, next you should mix together 5 egg whites until stiff peaks begin to form, and in this step you add a little bit of sugar, which the recipe does not say, but the general instructions tell me to, so that's just what I'm gonna do. And 2 big spoons, mind you, of cookie crumbs or finely chopped almonds or grated almonds or flour. but that's if you use flour, only 1 spoon. So that's quite a lot of ores in this recipe. Like, to sum it up, you have 3 or 5 tablespoons of sugar, you have half a lemon or 1 lemon of lemon juice, you have cookie crumbs or almonds or flour. So she gives you a lot of creative liberties in this recipe. So let's see how it turns out. And you should put it in a buttered dish and bake for 15 to 20 minutes. Guys, she used an actual time of how long you should be baking this thing. My god. She never uses the time. Well, okay. Now the temperature though, so that's still a mystery, but whatever temperature you bake, it should be for 15 to 20 minutes exactly. So, yeah, it's gonna be interesting what we are gonna do with this one. There's a lot of guessing going on, but let's hope for the best, right? I can't wait to see what comes out. So let's get baking. No, wait. Actually, I have recently bought the newer edition of this book. This is from year 1954, and I have bought this huge ass boy. This is big Slovene Cookbook. Not a Slovene Cookbook anymore, but a big one. And it has been updated by Miss Bernarda Gostečnik, and it's like a celebratory 30th edition, which is sold in our bookstores today. And I bought it because I was really curious how the recipes compare in the old one and in this one. And she, from what I heard, added some of the recipes. She changed some of the recipes to make them more healthy. And yeah, now this book contains more than 1,000 recipes from what I've heard. And let me just check. It has 1,000 pages. So let's see if we can find this lemon soufflé in it. Oh, there we go. Soufflés. Oh, there's a general section about soufflés in this one as well. So let's see, wait. Yeah, no more ash when baking. Well, too bad. I was excited to use some. Okay, lemon soufflé. Here it is. It says eggs, sugar, okay, lemon, still or, lemon zest, check, and then, well, here she moved from, what was it, 2 big tablespoons of cookies or almonds or flour, to the 2 big spoons of cookie crumbs, and 2 big spoons of almonds, and 1 spoon of flour. So instead of ors, she went with ands, and the amount of eggs is still the same, and amount of lemon is still the same. Should I be worried that such a huge change was implemented into the modern book? I don't know, but in any case, we're working with this little guy here, so I guess 2 spoons is all we'll be using. And now for real, let's get baking.
Okay, so first of all, I want to admit that this is my first time making a soufflé. I have no idea how they're supposed to be made. I don't know anything about them other than that they're supposed to rise up while baking, and then that they are light and fluffy. So I was going into this completely blind. Anyways, as the general section of the book suggested, I took the whole amount of sugar that the recipe called for and divided it between egg yolks and egg whites. Then I proceeded to mix egg yolks with the sugar, and I was not certain if I should have put lemon juice in the very beginning, but since her instruction is loose enough, saying just that I should mix all three together, I decided to play it safe and mix egg yolks and sugar first, just to achieve really nice fluffy texture, and add in the lemon juice afterwards. Because I was really afraid that it might curdle up or that the egg yolk mixture wouldn't fluff up as much if I added it in the beginning. But I was not at all confident in this decision, so you can see that I stopped in between mixing and put in the lemon zest, because I thought to myself, okay, maybe this will give it more flavor or something if I put it in the beginning, not at the end. And I decided to use 1 lemon instead of half a lemon because it was not a particularly juicy one. Anyway, I proceeded to fluff up the egg yolks and sugar, and when I was satisfied with the consistency, I scooped out a little bit of the batter and put it into the lemon juice, and I mixed it thoroughly, basically sacrificing it so that I would get this really homogeneous mixture, which I would have an easier time incorporating into the rest of the egg yolks afterwards. This, I think, is called tempering, if I'm not mistaken, and what I am pouring in is called a sacrifice. So I gently folded it in by hand afterwards. After that, I proceeded to add in 2 large tablespoons of almonds. I decided for almonds because I did not have cookies at home, and also because I thought that almonds would add maybe a little more of an interesting taste to the soufflé as flour would. So that's what I went with. And after that, I only had to mix in the egg whites, which you see are quite lumpy, despite beating them with sugar, because I think I just overdid it. So this one is completely on me. And ironically enough, when I looked it up, it would have actually been better if I would pour some of the lemon juice into the egg whites as I was mixing them, because that would help them stabilize, and I would probably avoid what happened here. So, oh well, I know for the next time. I proceeded to put the batter into the dishes that I chose, and unfortunately she doesn't tell me that I should be buttering them upwards with my fingers, or that I should sprinkle them with sugar a bit to help the soufflé climb while baking, so I did not have that information. Also, I did not know that I was supposed to fill them up to the brim, so I didn't, because I was really afraid that it will just climb over while baking and spill all over. But I know for the next time. So hey, maybe not the best soufflé, but for the first attempt, it was good enough, and I was actually excited to see how it tastes. So, I have made this deflated soufflé.
Perfect.
For us. Watch out, it's hot. Aha. Wait. Yeah. I suggest. Yeah, if you need to, but you don't have to hold it. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Oh my god. It's nothing. It just disappears as you.
It's just gone. Interesting.
Whoa.
This is
So
tasty.
lemony.
Mm-hmm.
It's non-existent, but
This is very tasty. If there was anything there at all, it would be perfect.
The it's interesting, yeah, the structure, it just disappears as soon as you put it in your mouth, gone. But the taste, I don't know, to me it could be a little less eggy.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like I'm eating scrambled eggs with lemon more than a dessert.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially if after you chew a bit. I don't know, maybe I did something wrong. This was my absolutely first time of making a soufflé. But I really love the lemon.
It's good, but yeah, it's not the. It misses that mark of a dessert, I guess. Yeah.
The texture, I'd say, I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I agree. It's really like. It really is like scrambled eggs.
Yeah, maybe this could be fixed by adding more flour or something like that, or breadcrumbs. Would you change anything with this?
More of it, I guess.
What do you mean?
Such a small. It's gone. It's gone. No more.
Okay, so more of it.
Yeah, maybe more. Yeah, structure, but otherwise it's all right.
How much would you rate it?
If it had more structure, probably something around an 8. I'm gonna say 7.
Yeah, maybe even a 6 for me, because it's really omelette-y.
I like eggs.
It's probably I'm probably to blame for that one, not the book, since I was making a soufflé for the first time. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't blame it on the book this time.
A little bit of blame.
Okay, I just wanted to share some of my final thoughts with you. In the beginning, I was wondering if I should mix egg yolks, sugar, and lemon juice together, and I still think I made the right decision by deciding to mix yolks and sugar separately from the lemon juice. The soufflé was nice and airy and very nice, had a very nice lemony taste, but it did have that omelette feel as we were eating it, and it did not rise as much as I hoped it would. So yeah, I think the main reason is because I have overbeaten the egg whites, so next time I have to be more careful. But if I would be making it again, I would put some of the lemon juice into the egg whites as I was beating them, to help them stabilize and hold the structure better. And also I would fill the cups to the brim to help the soufflé rise. So yeah, I gave it my best attempt. I did make some mistakes, but also the recipe was pretty vague, so we'll see if the next soufflé turns out any better. So thank you for watching and staying with me on this journey. Bye!